Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Hennessy. This is a political thriller from 1975. This is going to be another AIP release. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. I love this movie, and it's kind of like an action packed thriller, I guess. Um, Starts out with the riot, and no, actually, it starts out with a couple Irish dudes. One belongs to the Irish Republican Army. Um, the other dude used to belong to it, but he since renounced violence, he refuses to donate any money to them. Um, so then there's a riot against British police, I guess, British officers. I'm not too sure what they're doing there. They're pretty much occupying Ireland. Um, with a big ass tank and machine guns and shields. They look like riot cops from anywhere in the world. Um, so basically, the bunch of kids start throwing rocks at them, and starts escalating into a Molotov cocktail type deal. Um, there's even a sniper in one of the shops there. Um, so one of the officers, British forces, he gets hit in the head with a rock, and dazed, he starts blasting everybody with his machine gun, including the guy who renounced violence, his wife and his daughter, who just happened to be walking down the street. He witnesses them getting shot by this British dude, albeit it was under unusual circumstances. I mean, the guy was dazed and he didn't know what he was doing, but still. Um, the end result is the same. They end up getting killed by this dude, and after that, the guy who had since renounced violence, I don't remember his name in this, or the actor's name, but he even gets more radicalized by this whole turn of events, this tragedy, and he becomes even more violent than the IRA, um, Irish Republican Army. So he ends up becoming like a one-man gang type. He decides he's going to blow up Parliament, and he bumps into Patrick Stewart and Lee Remick on the way. Both of them end up getting killed, but Patrick Stewart is like the guy who's in a taxi, wants to make sure that this dude isn't up to his shenanigans. So he ends up getting shot in the car, in the back seat. Then he meets Lee Remick. She was good in The Omen. Patrick Stewart was good in I, Claudius. I didn't really care too much for Star Trek: The Next Generation when it was on television, by the way. Um, but getting back to Lee Remick, she sort of quarters him. Um, she uh, she gives him food and shelter, I guess. She runs a little shop in London, and I guess her husband was a member of the IRA. He killed himself somehow in one of their operations that went wrong. Um, so now this one-man gang suicide bomber wants to blow up the British Parliament while the Queen is there, and Prince Philip, Prince Charles, all those arseholes. Yeah, I don't like Prince Philip or Prince Charles. Queen Elizabeth, I'm kind of indifferent. I saw the Queen, and I thought that was a good movie, but Prince Philip and Prince Charles, I just can't stand. They're a bunch of egotistical environmentalists, and Prince Philip was involved in the WWF. I guess he owned like some kind of hunting range in Africa, and he started up the WWF, World Wildlife Fund, just so that poachers wouldn't kill his animals. That was pretty ridiculous and lame. I read about that about 10 years ago. Anyway, yeah, Prince Charles is the same. He's into all this ecology crap. There's a PM, member of Parliament, who's I guess he used to be an architect in this movie. He turns into another ecology turd. It's kind of a cloak or a smokescreen for communism in Europe. This ecology moniker. He says that the city stinks and it's all the fault of industrialists. That kind of crap you hear from communists who turn into ecologists like Gorbachev, who after his government was overturned, he lived in Brazilian rainforest trying to save that rainforest. So so there's that element. You see these kind of politicians and these kind of ecology turds pop up in all kinds of 70s stuff. For instance, there was a Doctor Who episode called The Green Death that was kind of similar to this. But anyway, this the suicide bomber who had his family killed in Ireland by the British paratrooper dude. He manages to sneak into this ecology PM dude's house. He ties him to a chair. He tapes his mouth, and then he starts like shaving his head and getting hair extensions in the back to make him look more like the ecology PM, so he can sneak into the Parliament while the Queen's there and the royal family and everybody's there. So so he manages to pull it off. Meanwhile, the IRA's trying to kill him. Basically, they shoot Remick before he kidnaps the PM dude. And they shoot the real ecologist PM dude. In the end, they even managed to shoot the suicide bomber's leg, but I'm revealing too much of the plot at this point. I don't want to spoil it. So they use a lot of stock footage of the Queen, Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth II, and Prince Charles in the House of Lords delivering their nonsense about prosperity, peace, and fishing, manufacturing, that kind of stuff. The only prosperity and peace that they were performing around the globe was in Hong Kong, ironically, one of their colonies. So that was only part of the Queen's speech that made any sense. If she was referring to Hong Kong, yeah, I can see that in Hong Kong. Hong Kong was a bastion of free markets and had a relatively higher standard of living compared to other countries. But it was just a little tiny island the size of Chicago, probably. Millions of people emigrating there every year. But but the rest of their empire was kind of embroiled in socialist nonsense, this ecology crap, and labor government. Um, so that pretty much failed before Margaret Thatcher took over. Just a little side note on British politics and my opinion on what was happening in the 70s. Um, Overall, I gave the movie 5 stars, and I thought it was a good action thriller. Check it out. It's available on Netflix Instant Viewing. You don't have to wait for the DVD. Laters.